And try to. This is awesome.
Testicles.
1, 2. This is my dad. He's got a pretty cool story. I mean, I guess. Would you tell it? Would you tell?
Shoot. Start.
Well,
give me a starting point.
I guess. Not like the upbringing, but I guess once you were out of the house.
Off as a little sperm.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
And then once you were out of the house, here, man. Right there, perfect.
After high school.
Yeah, once you were hanging with the boys at Hard Rock and whatnot. Some of those stories, like.
Gotcha.
Because weren't you not at the first the one that we've been to? You were at a different one.
There was one that was built prior to that in Orlando that was shaped like a guitar.
He was born in Florida.
Born in Florida.
Orlando, just to clarify.
Quick back.
Yeah.
Raised in Miami, Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale area.
Nice.
Parents got divorced. Dad and I moved to Naples. Graduated Naples High. If you've ever been to Naples, there's not much to do, but if you're rich or retired or like to play golf.
And there's a lot.
So I graduated in June, was in Orlando by November, and got a job at the Hard Rock Cafe.
How old were you?
I was 18.
Dang.
18 years old. Got a job at the Hard Rock, literally just opening doors, working in merchandise.
Can we get the year? Like, for
94.
music era? That's a great era.
94. So great time to be at the Hard Rock when all that great music was coming out. Not to mention being in Orlando at that time, you didn't have the boy bands, the Britney, the Backstreet, but you had Collective Soul, you had Seven Mary 3, you had Matchbox 20, all those great bands coming out playing in downtown Orlando. And worked at the Hard Rock, worked at many different positions there for about 8 years. They did have the old building that was shaped like a guitar.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
And then they moved it to what is now the Coliseum of Rock, which is half Hard Rock Live for concerts and half of it as a rest.
Like from where it was?
It was like a half mile over. They put it basically in the park of City Walk between Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios. I worked security in the Hard Rock Live venue half the time and was a server the other half of the time, and got to hang out and party with many, many, many celebrities. Examples.
Yeah, please.
Brought Britney Spears 3 buckets of KFC to her dressing room.
Nice.
Carrot Top. Michael Bolton asked us where he could get some stuff.
No
way. Kid Rock, Josie.
You got a signed poster, but how'd that go? You said you were in the elevator?
I was in the elevator with Josie, and he goes, "Hey, can I get a towel? I'm with the band." I'm like, "Joe, I know who you are." Gave him a towel. Sammy Hagar signed my ass.
Yeah.
It was his band that night, Sammy Hagar, and me and the wife, not at the time, we weren't married, but I took the night off just to see him and hang out and party, and we were dressed up like an old man and an old lady, and I had a few drinks, and even though I was off, I went backstage and downstairs where I probably shouldn't have because I wasn't working, dressed like an old man with like an old man wig and these boxer shorts with a plastic butt sticking out. And I went downstairs down by the green rooms, and Sammy opened the door and came out, and he looked at me and stopped. I'm like, "Sammy, dude, you got to sign my ass." And he just looked at me and stopped. And when I turned around and showed him the plastic butt, he kind of laughed. And I'm like, "Dude, I work here. I just took the night off to come see you guys." And sure enough, he signed my ass. You still have that? I do. I still have it. I'm trying to go around the room. Goo Goo Dolls.
You were on the Creed music video.
I'm in the. They filmed the video for Creed. For the video Higher. It was like a 18-hour day. Like, so it was a long day. I'm in there. Yep. Got to hang out and party with them.
Who was the one that if there was somebody that you met that you didn't like?
Somebody I met that
best
I didn't
and
like.
worst.
A lot of great. No best. Alice Cooper.
Dang. Like you met
Steven Tyler. Yep. Steven Tyler was really cool. He came in and I got posted with him up close to his table to keep people away from him. But he had a straw hat on.
For a server?
Yeah. No, I was still in security at the time. and a fake mustache, and they put him up in this corner table by himself with his family. And after eating for a while, his mustache started coming off, and he took his hat off. And this other manager that worked there was from Boston, so he walked up with a guitar for him to sign. So everybody starts looking and getting a little suspicious. So he finished eating, and I was walking him out the back door to pass him on to Universal security. And this kid was walking in with a broken arm in a cast. And he's, hey, excuse me. And he went to walk by him, and the guy stopped and looked at him and goes, you look like Steven Tyler. And he goes, yeah, I get that a lot, but I heard he's inside. And he just kept walking, and the kid was like dumbfounded. And I just kind of looked at the kid, was like, yeah, that was him. And dropped him off with Universal security. And God, what's his name? I said Carrot Top, Goo Goo Dolls, Hanson, Tool.
Like you saw them or you talked to them?
Yep, no, hung out and did security with them backstage down in the green room. Weird Al Yankovic.
Damn. I didn't even know all these.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember our old house. I had all that memorabilia up on the walls. I'm trying to go around in my head and picture.
Bon Jovi?
No, never got to meet Bon Jovi.
Godsmack?
Yep, Godsmack, Sully, and all the guys. I got an autograph poster from them. That's when they were just breaking. A lot of local bands. Von Ray, a lot of hard rock bands that were trying to make it. Shout out to Lime, 2K Superstar, many names they went through. But yeah, it was great. There was a handful of guys at Hard Rock that had a band. We had a band.
What was it called?
It was never decided on. There was Thunk was tossed around. Compos Mentis was tossed around, which means something in Latin. I can't remember. We recorded some songs and played out a couple times and got a pretty good response. But, life, getting guys to get together to practice was tough. And we shared a warehouse with like 2 other bands. And it was back behind a music store. And there was a ton of bands that worked and practiced back there. One of them got a record deal from the local radio station, but it kind of fizzled out. They were called the Shakes. Yeah, it was a great time to be there.
Didn't you tell me something about Three Doors Down? Was like somebody said, hey, who's rocking out down there?
That's how I heard they got the name. They didn't. They weren't actually 3 doors down from us in the warehouse thing. Apparently, somebody heard them playing and like, hey, who's that playing? Yeah. Where are they at? They're 3 doors down, and apparently it stuck.
That's cool.
Another band, Collective Soul.
Yeah.
I think I said that in Orlando was coming out at the time. But just what was really cool about Seven Mary 3 was if you are a fan of them, one of their albums is called Orange Avenue, which is the main road through downtown Orlando. And they would come up with weird band names. And you'd be walking downtown on a Friday night or Saturday night, and you'd see a little sign that says, some made-up band name playing. Come on in. And you go in, and it was Seven Mary 3 playing. They would do that quite often. It was pretty cool. Yeah, great times. Some of the best friends I've ever had I'm still in contact with. That I worked with at Hard Rock. It was a lot of fun.
Wasn't your roommate Ben the band or the drum player for Creed before they broke?
I guess he played maybe with a couple of guys in Tallahassee from Creed, 1 or 2 guys at the time. Not the time, just playing and switching around members here and there. And then I remember he got a phone call from one of his buddies in Tallahassee saying that they broke big, and he was like, son of a bitch. But life happens. You never know, right? So.
What about the one where you said when you moved in with, was it just Ben?
Mm-hmm.
And there was somebody up above you that was like pissed, hammered, and fell or something. Remember, it was like some dude, and you go, oh my gosh, are you good? And he goes, I'm good. He hit something. It was like a grill, or he was climbing up.
No, I always had people come back to our apartment, and one time they got there before us, and they climbed up the balcony to our balcony before we even got there. But I don't remember anybody falling.
I swear you said
keyword don't remember.
Yeah. Somebody was it was something that you and Ben go, oh. And he was like, oh, I'm good.
No, him and Morgan had a couple spills from drinking downtown a couple times, but I don't remember that one. But yeah, Ben was awesome. Was looking for a roommate, and we
That
hit
was
it
a
off.
college roommate.
Yep.
Sometimes you just have to use
College roommate.
college roommate. Ben.
Had a couple of roommates, wasn't working, blew me off, left me, and I had to find someone to step in because the lease was signed. And I didn't know anything about him. I heard he was looking for a roommate, and he came to look at the place, and he's like, "Sure, let's do it." And I came home the next day, and he was there. He had moved a bed in. He hadn't brought a toothbrush.
Nothing.
But he brought a mini fridge and put it on the porch with a case of beer. And I said, "We're going to get along just fine."
And then he married you.
We're roommates for 5 years,
marry
almost
you.
5 years. And we asked him, because we didn't just want some preacher we didn't know to marry us. We wanted someone that we knew. And he was, I don't know, maybe ordained or whatever. So we asked him to do it. And he married me and your mom on the beach in Cocoa Beach barefoot.
Yeah.
In the sand. It was great. Like I said, still friends with many, many, many people from Hard Rock that we'll see coming up on vacation again.
Does anybody cool, like, do you hear from Daryl if anybody popular or famous still comes in there?
No, not
Or
like
is
that.
it
Because, I mean,
kinda
I'm
fizzle
sure
out?
it still happens. Met
So you
Shaq.
basically hit it at the peak.
I forgot to mention, Shaq, in a way, Shaquille O'Neal helped buy your mother's wedding dress.
Yeah, that's
He
right.
came into Hard Rock, and I was a server at the time, and I waited on him.
With long hair.
I had very long hair.
Long hair. It looked sweet.
You plug in a pic right there
What do you mean?
on your video. with
Oh,
me and
yeah.
long
Wait,
hair.
how far? What's this? You keep going.
I'll
Just so I
keep
can
going.
plug in a peek. Man.
Okay.
Or a pic.
I waited on him, and he is a big kid. I felt bad for him because when he sat at the table, his knees were up in his face because he's so big. And the nuggets at Hard Rock were shaped like guitars, and he was with family and friends, and nuggets came, and he picked them up and played, and he ordered dessert first, actually. Fudge brownie sundae.
Did he eat a lot?
I don't remember.
Okay.
They just put a bunch of food, and everybody
Sure.
kind of dug in. And at the end, he tipped me like $200 or $300. And Mom called me the day, and she's like, "I found my wedding dress." And I'm like, "Oh, well, all right. Well, this money Shaq tipped me is going to help pay for your wedding dress." And that again was another great time because Orlando Magic was big with it was a Penny Hardaway and I can't remember the goggles guy wore goggles. Just a great time to be in Orlando.
So why'd you go there in the first place? Just because you like music?
To Hard Rock or
Yeah.
Orlando?
Well, I guess Hard Rock, but also Orlando.
Orlando, I followed a girl up there.
Nice.
Didn't work out. What motivated me to go to Hard Rock and apply was she got a job at Universal Studios. And I moved up there, and I was working at McDonald's in Naples, so I got a job at McDonald's in Orlando, and I was like, well, if she can get a job, I can get a job. So I went around and applied, Disney World, Universal, Epcot, Wet and Wild at the time, which is now Volcano Bay. And I was like, oh, I didn't know anything about Hard Rock. Never seen one, didn't know anything about it. So I went.
Really?
This music is playing. I walked up and I filled out an application and left. And I got back to where I was staying, which in Orlando traffic was like an hour away. And I get a phone call like, "Hey, can you come in for an interview?" And it was like 5 o'clock traffic. And I was just like, sure, why not? So I went back.
Same day?
Yeah, same day. And I went in, and I'll never forget, the guy's name was Dave Duck. Dave Duck was counting his till in the merchandise office. And I went in, and I'm talking to the lady, and she's asking me all these questions. And I was like, I'm not going to get this job. All these people are cool. They get to listen to music all day. So she's asking me these questions, and she goes, this, that. And she's like, "Do you have any kids?" And I'm like, "None that I know about." And the dude started laughing and looked at the manager. He goes, "You need to hire this guy. He's funny." Threw me the paperwork. She said, "You start Monday." I was ecstatic. So this is 94, maybe 95. And I remember I got $7.25 an hour, and I was ecstatic. And what was great about Hard Rock, and probably still is to this day, you went in even when you weren't working. It was just a constant party all the time. They asked you to stay late. You did it, no problem. Come in early, no problem. It was just a great, great place to work. And then 9/11 happened, and everything, the park slowed down, travel slowed down. Because I was kind of double dipping, they were like, we got to do some layoffs. There's not going to be concerts for a while. And I was like, can I come back? They're like, if it picks up, absolutely. But that's after 9/11 is when I decided to join the fire department.
Nice. Dude, I forgot you kind of did the fire. Do you want to explain that? Or can you first explain the story of when, because since we're still in that time frame a little bit, the story where you swam across the channel? Or
That was high school.
okay, so I was even before.
So in high school, I was a freshman in high school.
A troubled kid.
Potato. You had midterms or finals or whatever, periodic testing that you'd go in and test for a couple hours and they let you go home like a half day.
Mm-hmm.
So we did, and a bunch of people. It was nice as I never got the freshman treatment because I was pretty tall and big, and a lot of my friends are older. So I never got that freshman. So I got to hang out with a lot of older seniors and stuff. And after the test, I went to the beach by what they call a jetty, which is the big open section of where the intercoastal opens into the ocean. Big ships and everything goes in and out of there. So we were playing football up there, and I don't know, it was halftime, and somebody goes, I bet you can't swim across there. So me and one other guy were like, oh yeah? So we jump in and we're swimming across the jetty, and boats are zipping in and out, cruise ships, everything. And we get to the other side, and they're waving at us, cheering us on, and we're getting ready to swim back to the other side. And all of a sudden, this truck pulls up, Coast Guard truck, and there's like 3 Coast Guard ships pulling into the jetty. And we're like, oh shit. And the guy comes walking out on like the little pier thing, and he walks up to us and he's like, you two in the water? And we're soaking wet, and we go, no. You need to come with us. Well, again, because the other kid was older, he was a senior or graduated, he was 18, so they let him go. And they call my dad, like, this is the United States Coast Guard. He's like, what the hell? I know you can swim. And they pulled me back in the office, and they were talking to me like, what are you doing? I'm like, hey, they just said I couldn't swim across it. And they're like, did it seem like a far swim to you? I'm like, no, I was getting ready to get in the water and swim back across till you stopped us. Why? And they're like, are you on drugs? No. Why? Like, we call that a suicide swim. I'm like, why? He goes, because people try to swim across that, they either get hit by a boat or pulled out to the ocean or eaten by a shark. I'm like, okay. And they're like, all right, your dad's got to come pick you up. And as I'm leaving, they flip me a business card. Like, after high school, maybe consider the Coast Guard. I was, okay. So, yeah, that was got razzed about that the next day at school.
That was cool.
No, not really.
So was it even a strong current, or it was just a normal swim?
I don't remember.
How old are you? 16, 17?
So freshman in high school is what? 15, 16?
Yeah. That's impressive stuff.
Yeah, not a lot of, good stories.
Yeah, but it's
not
cool.
proud of at this point.
It's cool. What about so now that we're caught up at the Hard Rock, from there to your firefighter career.
Yep.
Like
so,
how... So 9/11 really slowed everything down.
Yep.
Then did they kick you to the curb, or just said we're going?
No, they just said we got to do layoffs for now. Everything's really slow. Nobody's booking concerts. Nobody's traveling to the parks because of flying. We're going to do layoffs. As soon as it picks up, you're more than welcome to come back. My little sister was dating a firefighter at the time, and I'd grown up with a lot of contact of police officers. So I actually had a police officer, academy application in my hand and was going to fill it out, and was talking to my sister's boyfriend, and he's like, well, think about it. Are people ever happy to see cops? No. They're always happy to see firefighters.
True.
Like, yeah, and I was like, okay. So I filled it out. I was working at Hawaiian Tropic as a sales rep, and I would work all day, and then I went to the fire academy part-time. So full-time was Monday through Friday, like 3 months. Part-time was like Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 6 to 9 for like 6 months. So I worked all day and did that. But also prior to that, while I was working at Hawaiian Tropic, I had to go back to school because you had to be an EMT to be accepted into the fire academy. So I had to go back to school first, get my EMT, then they accept you into the fire academy. And I went through that and got hired on at Kissimmee Fire Department. Was there for about a year. Again, camaraderie, friends to this day.
Did you actually sleep in the thing like they do in the movies?
In the station house?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 24 on, 48 off.
Oh, okay.
And, I was in there like, where the real money is paramedic school. You get a lot more money if you're a paramedic. And I was like, well, we want to have a kid. Like, you should do it now before you have a kid. So I went back to school.
But that's different from EMT?
Yep, it's more schooling because you get to push drugs, start IVs, stuff like that. So I went to school for another year and got my paramedic, and then got married, had you.
Nice.
So I was doing really well in Kissimmee. I worked there for, I think, about 4 years as a firefighter, and then moved up here.
And then what about, but you still did it on and off, like...
Yep, I'm here. Worked at Grand Forks Fire Department for a while, and
you can probably razz at them. Can you?
Nah, I'm not going to do that.
Can you tell the story that?
Just not the best. I worked in.
Well, no. What about the one where they like came to mom, where they usually say like, "Hey, your husband died, but it was just because he passed out." Can you say that one or no?
I don't remember that.
The one where you couldn't get enough oxygen and your face mask warped.
Oh no, that was a flashover.
What was that?
That's where the heat in the room and the gases explode, and I was at a flashover. It melted my face mask, my radio strap.
Like it explodes?
Pretty much, it just flashed over. It just wasn't the best run department.
But didn't you fall from something?
Fell off the roof in a fire.
From that or a different one?
Different one. Yeah, not. But again, I'm not going to badmouth the fire service. Every department's different. I'll just say that Kissimmee and some volunteer departments I worked with were much better than
so
other
you did it
departments.
for like how many years total?
On and off, volunteer and paid departments was a total of about 15 years. And then also did law enforcement for 5 years also.
I've thought about firefighting, but I think I need to be able to carry a 300-pound dude on my back, if need be.
Or drag them.
Yeah.
If possible, but it's
is
all
the
that gear
thrill
on
awesome?
you.
Like once you're heading to a fire, is it really that fun? I'll see it on TikTok or Instagram where it's like they're going to the fire and they're all.
It
hyped
depends.
up.
It affects different people different ways. Just like when somebody gets hurt, like how you laugh when people get hurt.
Yeah.
Everybody reacts different. Because I remember in the fire academy, the very first thing they did, like within the first week, they put you in a live fire.
Like
to
the
see if you can
simulators,
handle
like
it.
the storage.
No, like they brought you in a room with racks, metal racks, and they put hay on it, and they lit it on fire, and they said, "Here's a hose on the ground. You need to follow this hose through this room and get out."
Were you in gear?
Yep. Well, of course.
Why?
I had to be in bunker gear,
And how much does that stuff weigh?
it depends
Not a
on
lot
what
of people know.
Well, it depends on what you're carrying. I mean, just your gear and your pack is probably 50 pounds, but you're carrying hose, tools, stuff like that. It could be up to 80 pounds that you're carrying. But they put you through, and I came out. I was like, I don't want to say I had a boner, but I was. It was a rush. It was
Really?
exciting. But there was one kid that freaked out, and the instructor had to grab him, and he busted open the door and took him out. And he's like, "This isn't for you."
That's fair enough. It's better they know there.
Exactly, and that's what they did first. So I loved it, and obviously.
Did you work with the boyfriend at all, or is that a different academy?
No, he worked in Naples. I worked different area, but that and like being an EMT, you see stuff. I mean, you've heard the stories I've told about.
Can you tell if you already know?
There's just calls on. I mean, yeah.
Well, there was the one that I know that really sticks out is the one where you went to some apartment and there was two guys that were fighting. One guy banged another guy's girlfriend. The other dude.
So it
caught him.
it was a complex that was shaped like a.
Is it better if this is over here?
I don't know. It's
Just
is it blocking my attractive face?
Move it. There.
Okay.
That's fine. That's fine. You're good.
What, there.
No, your face is still attractive.
I don't want to say like a horseshoe.
Like almost a
like
square.
a courtyard. It was down,
Yeah.
straight over and up. And we got a call for a gunshot wound. And we got on scene, and it was some girl who had a boyfriend that was in jail, was banging his best friend.
Oh, best friend.
And best friend or dude, I don't remember.
Okay. We'll go with best friend.
And he
makes
got
it
out
juicy.
early,
Yep.
and he came home and found him, and the dude was running across the courtyard, and he tripped and fell. and the dude was chasing him. And as he tripped and fell, he turned up at the dude, and he just
The one that just got out of prison just killed another guy.
yep.
Not that he killed one before, but he's
I don't know what he was in jail for. Before.
sure, but he just got okay.
And he obviously, very obviously,
Brains
deceased.
are yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And it was in a very urban area, and everyone came out and started screaming at us as EMT paramedics, the fire department shows up, because there's obviously nothing you can do. And they were like, "Why aren't you doing anything to help him?
Where's the
Help him
dude
out."
that popped him in the noggins?
He took off running.
Do they have a new dog?
I don't know.
They have a dog. Anyway,
He took off running, and we were doing a quick assessment. You got to still put the leads on, prove that he's flatlined, et cetera, et cetera. And people started yelling at us. Why aren't you doing anything? Help him. Do something. You'd help him if he was white. And we were just like, his head's here and his brains are there. There's nothing we can do. And they started throwing rocks and bottles and everything at us. And we got in the rig and left. I mean, it's a great career, but it has its...
there's some, yeah.
It has its risks, obviously. There's a lot of stuff that I saw that I wish I could unsee, but there are a lot of people that I helped and lives I've saved that I got come back to the station. They bring you food, they give you hugs, they write letters. I mean, that's what made it all kind of worth it. I got a scrapbook. I don't know if I think I might have the letter from the one.
I've seen that one stuff. You took a picture after a fire. There was a ceiling fan and it was melted down.
I used to take a lot of pictures. I had a disposable camera in my bunker gear pocket, and I would take pictures. A lot of... You'd be surprised what fire can do. It's deadly, but what it does sometimes looks pretty cool. Like the blades were melted, all 5 of them, like almost to the ground. It looked really, really cool. But yeah, I mean, there were times where there was a couple times I was scared. And I always made sure that after a big fire that I would call your mom and say I'm okay before they see it on TV. There was a big fire in this area, whatever, and she'd see it and freak out. So I would always call or text and say, And I remember when I first started, like I'd come home and I'm like, oh, we had this call and this guy's arm was like this. And she's just like, I don't want to hear it.
But was that fun? Well, not
so
fun
then
to
after
you,
that, it would just be, was it a good shift or a bad shift? And I'd be like, it was a bad shift. And she'd be like, okay. Because she asked because she cared, but like didn't want detail care.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
But it was just not fun, but it was fun. Like what made it so...
It was rewarding. I mean, you helped a lot of people, but I don't want to say it's 50-50, but it has its ups and downs. There was good times and there was bad times.
Led Zeppelin.
The really bad times.
Bad times.
Nice reference.
Yeah, thank you.
The hardest times actually in the fire department is when you lose a fellow firefighter.
Yeah.
And that happened a couple times in my department because I was on the honor guard, and there was a couple times that I had to stand guard next to one of our fallen firefighters, and that was really tough. You think guys and firefighters are tough, and I've been to police funerals also. You think these guys are bulletproof and this and that, but you talk about grown men crying. It's very tough. Probably one of the toughest.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to many funerals, but a firefighter funeral where they do like the flag fold and hand the flag to the mother and the helmet to the son.
That's brutal.
That's very tough. But so I got to the point where I was like, I think I'm good. So.
And now, well, I guess, yeah, you volunteered. It wasn't even crazy, really, because, okay, so you went from Florida to basically North Dakota where there's not many fires. So were the calls even, it wasn't nearly as cool.
No, not as many call volume, but I'd much rather fight a fire in the heat in Florida than I would in the cold, in the snow, because 9 times out of 10, the fire hydrants, what we call plugs, are frozen. And you're spraying water, and you literally are covered in water that freezes, and you have to break out of your bunker gear and crack the ice off of you. And you stand closer to the fire just to stay warm, Where in Florida, you're hot, you take your bunker coat off, pour some water on your head, and you feel better.
And were
It's
you
definitely
just
different.
always on call?
No,
Like,
no.
When
Not
you
on
said, I guess in Florida, when you were 24 on, 48 off, 48 off would be a different
2 days
crew?
off.
Yeah, but there'd be a different.
ABC crew.
Oh, okay.
So you're on A shift, you work for 24 hours, and B shift comes in, works 24 hours. C shift comes in, works 24 hours, and it goes back to A.
And I suppose there's always something.
Yeah. I mean, there were shifts where, very seldom, where you didn't run or maybe 1 or 2 calls. But then there were ones, because it's Central Florida, tourists don't know where they're going, driving accidents. There were shifts where you'd run 18, 20 calls with 2 flyouts.
So, why are there some fire trucks that show up to car accidents? Like, when do they make that call from, like, how does the call get over to you?
Dispatch. Somebody calls 911 and they describe what happens. And those people are trained to decide, do you just need fire? Do you just need police? Do you need a rescue?
And
And the tones go off and you go.
Did you ever drive it?
I drove an engine, yeah. I was engineer. Which is, I got to tell you talk about a rush. I know your brother loves the Fast and Furious and drifting and shit, but dude, there's nothing more than a rush of popping a curb and going head on into traffic, blowing an air horn, getting people's like parting the Red Sea for you to come through in a big fire engine.
That's gotta be fun.
That's pretty cool.
What about hanging on? Was that still a thing when you were like guys?
No,
hanging
they
on the
don't.
back?
You talking about on the back? No, they don't do that. Too many people fell off.
Yeah, but when you were in, did they do
No,
that?
no,
Okay.
that was done. Just like 3/4 boots, they didn't have full bunker gear. They just wore the long. Like I don't think you've seen the movie Backdraft. They just wore 3/4 boots and a jacket. No, you got to be fully covered. and
But could you
protected.
still catch on fire?
Yeah. There was a training accident right before I started, and the neighboring department next to us were in a training accident. 2 guys got killed. Yeah, it has its risk, but if you're, something could always go wrong, but we always did training and, you head on a swivel, which I teach you and preach to you all the time that you.
So did you guys all work out too?
Yeah, you work out on shift. There's nothing worse that sucks. You're in the middle of a workout because you've changed in your like gym gear, or you're in the shower and the tones go off. God, it sucks. You got to haul ass and get what you need and get out to the truck.
So do they practice that in training, or is it kind of just once you're hired then?
No, in the academy they don't teach you how to get. Well, I take that back. In the academy, wherever you were on the grounds, if you heard the instructor blow a whistle, you had to run back to wherever your gear was and get it on within a minute. If you didn't, you were either
From the second he blows it?
Yep. So you could be at 50 feet away, and you got to haul ass, get your gear on, and get it done. If not, you were either doing push-ups or lunges, and God, that sucked.
So how long was the training?
Like I said, it depended. You could either go 3 months full-time, Monday through Friday.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah. What would you do?
I did the part-time because I had a full-time job, so I did part-time 3 nights a week for 6 months. But yeah, it sucks if you're like out playing basketball or doing something and the tones go off.
You played
run.
basketball?
Well, they got, it's downtime working out, basketball, hoop in the back to, or grilling dinner or something, and the tones go off. Oh, God, it sucks. Especially if you're sleeping.
So how did you get to the point where you could drive an engine? Like,
You have to go to engineer school. You got to learn, like, the pump and pressure and different sizes of hose and all that good stuff, length of them, all that stuff.
did you get
a lot
pretty
of
high
math.
up then?
What's that?
Did you get pretty high up?
I was a ride-up engineer and a paramedic, so.
Is that the math one where you failed it by, well, not failed it, but
No,
missed
that
it
was
by 1
paramedic.
point?
First time I took my paramedic test, I missed it by 1 point. You needed 80 to passing a 79. That sucked. I would have rather failed by like a 60 than to be that close and miss it. But I took it the second time and passed.
Yeah.
But no, you've met a couple of them that we met. I don't know if a couple of people in when we go visit Orlando, you've met a couple of them. But it's a rewarding career. But it's.
Are any of the dudes you were still with or were with still in it?
I'm friends with a few of them on
I guess
Facebook that
Buffy.
are still. Yep, Buffy. Not my old, but yeah, still friends with quite a bit of them on Facebook that are still at that department or in some of the other places I work that are still in the fire service. Yeah.
I want to talk more about the concert stuff too.
What about like at Hard Rock or just concerts in general?
I guess we could do both. I was thinking.
First concert I ever went to, Bon Jovi Skid Row.
Have you seen the one on Instagram? It was.
What was your first concert?
Kid Rock.
There you go.
How old were you?
12 or 13. My dad took me.
7.
Yep.
My parents took me.
And you've seen him how many times? 4? 5?
3, because it was 7, and then it was one with the family in the cities, and then shortly after it was the Rock the Country.
I thought there was another one in there.
I don't think so.
Oh, that was We Fest. It was just me and Mom.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Okay.
Oh yeah. On Instagram, I'm pretty sure the opening was Red Hot Chili. Or no, excuse me, not opening. Main act was Red Hot Chili Peppers, but the openers were Nirvana and Pearl Jam, and it was a $10 ticket.
That's how it was back in the 90s. When those bands were breaking,
yeah.
Nobody knew who they were, and tickets were cheap. There was a venue in Orlando called The Edge, and I saw Soundgarden there, and it was awesome. It was raining. I think I told you this. People were trashing hammered, and there was this big mud puddle, and there was like mulch where this was, and people were running and sliding in this. And this one dude went through and slid in it, and he stood up. He had a big chunk of mulch sticking out of his stomach. Good times.
And you could have went to Woodstock 99.
Yes, I was at Hard Rock when that was there. There was a bunch of people that worked there that went, and I don't know why I didn't.
I thought you
go.
told me money.
It could have been money. I don't remember exactly. I know it was. I don't remember where it was. I think that was part of it too. Like, do you remember where it was?
I think it might have been down there.
No, I don't think it was in Orlando. It was somewhere
Oh,
else.
my phone's right there. Do you have your phone?
I don't.
We'll look it up after.
But there was a good handful of people.
Do you regret not going? Because realistically, the only ones...
Yes and no.
You could, like...
To see those bands would have been fantastic, but the conditions, obviously, we've seen the documentaries and stuff, would probably not have been the best. But, yeah. I remember Limp Bizkit, I think I told you this, was supposed to play at Hard Rock Live, and something happened where Fred got hurt, and they called the show. Like, people were in the building.
You said he rolled his ankle.
He did something, his leg or ankle or something. So the crowd was chanting Wimp Bizkit because he wouldn't come out and play, and they had to tell everybody to leave.
Did they get refunds?
That wasn't my department.
So you were the one that would stand close to the stage like this?
That's where I started when we first opened it. Like, Kid Rock, some dude jumped on stage and ran towards him, and I grabbed him and tackled him.
Were you down with the audience?
No,
or
I was up
stage?
on the side of the stage, and some kid jumped up and ran. But this was 99. Like, Kid Rock was barely breaking at that point. And I tackled the guy, threw him down to the other security guard who took it off, got like a nod from Kid.
Nice.
And grew into head of security there, to where I was getting like what they call the...
You were head of security?
Yeah. What do they call it? So there's a green room. They call it a list.
What is a green room?
It's just a room where they meet and greet people.
Like beforehand?
Or their dressing room, yeah.
Just a chill...
God, what was the name? It's a list that they want. Like, they want certain things there. And I would have to go and get that and make sure they got towels and this and that and that and this.
And Britney Spears was $3 at KFC.
Brought $3 at KFC to her dressing room. I met Dick Butkus. Was really cool. They were doing the Heisman Trophy there. And I was backstage checking on stuff. And he went to walk out a door where I knew there was people out there. I'm like, hey, you don't want to go out that door? And he goes, why is that? I said, there's a bunch of people out there. And he goes, oh, okay, thanks. And I had just a pamphlet of the event. He's like, do you want me to sign that for you? I'm like, yeah, sure. He goes, I'd rather sign one than 15 or 20 that are outside that door. I was like, absolutely. So I got his autograph too, which was pretty cool.
Did they
Yeah.
do comedy there at all?
Yeah, Carrot Top was there. Gallagher was there. He was hilarious. Yeah, lots of. Like I said, I mean, I'd have to really close my eyes and dig deep to.
So was it
Go
kind
through
of
what
like?
was there. Well, I showed you when we went there. We saw what you saw what it looked like. It was
Yeah, dude,
like-
we walked back. Well, I think it was just me. I ended up in a white room.
Yep, it's called the is it the
John
Beatles
Lennon?
room or the Lennon room. It's just all Beatles stuff and it's all white upstairs at Hard Rock Live.
I wish I would have stayed in there longer. I thought I was gonna get yelled at.
No, because I knew the guy that brought us back there. And,
I know. I just teleported
Yeah.
into a different room.
yeah, there's VIP and there's all kinds of really nice areas back there, and the memorabilia is fantastic.
That's
I mean,
what I
not
was
just
gonna say.
our Hard Rock, obviously, but the Hard Rocks around the world are just the.
And there was
memorabilia.
still stuff back then.
Oh yeah.
What do they do with that?
There's a couple big warehouses here and there that they. I don't know how much they rotate stuff, but that's where they get it. And most of the stuff we get was donated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Let me circle around. Let me see where we're at. Are you itching to get back out?
No, I might have to.
6.
I might have to take a leak soon.
Oh, well, we're at 41.
This is your world, buddy.
Hey, man.
You can always have me back on another time.
I'm just trying to make it.
Yeah.
I'm doing decent, I think.
Yeah.
Any other wild stories? Otherwise, I might need to lay down.
No, like I said, just trying to think of different bands I got to hang out in. Bad Company. Just trying to think of actual stories that stuck out, like the Britney and Sammy Hagar and Carrot Top wanted to go hang out and drink with us, the security team. And the manager's like, I think too many people are going to recognize you. I'm like, well, we'll go upstairs and grab him a hat. He can come to our bar with us that we always go to. And he was ready to go with it. And he was, this was back when he was pretty jacked.
I don't know.
You don't know who Carrot Top is?
No.
Shame on you.
I know. I'll do my research.
And his manager's
Sorry.
like, no, we really should just go back to the hotel. And he was like, all right, I'm going to go back to the hotel. We're like, oh, come on, man.
Managers, dude.
But no, a lot of late nights. I mean, what was cool is either they would, a lot of us, the acts would either invite us to just, because we weren't going to say you need to leave. It would be on their own terms. So you could be there till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning when they decide to get back on the bus and leave or whatever.
Well, I suppose you just still have to watch them.
Yeah, you got to have somebody there. But a lot of times they'd be like, hey guys, come on in, hang out, sit down, have a drink, do whatever.
Well, if they're not cool with you, then who's going to protect them?
Exactly. So yeah, a lot of late nights, a lot of good times, man. It was great. I don't know how it is now, nowadays with stuff, but saw Eddie Murphy, Sheryl Crow. See, the more I think, the more stuff's coming back to me.
Like you saw him physically, or you also saw him?
They were there. They did this like awards thing at Hard Rock at the Live when it first opened, and a lot of celebrities were there for that. Like it was, I don't know if it was like the grand opening, but yeah, there was one night we actually lost control of the building. Of the concert hall.
Where
we
were?
I want to say, where we were. It was called Bloodhound Gang.
Sounds like it.
I've heard a couple of their songs, not big in them, but it was the entire. Usually there's like the floor and like the front area turns into a mosh pit, right? The entire floor, you could feel the building shake. And they went in and people were falling and tripping. We'd go in to help them up here and there. And it was so big and out of control that we got on the radio and just said, everybody get back. Get off to the side of the building and just get back. It was just too crazy. Luckily, I don't remember anybody getting too badly hurt, but it was out of control.
Did they rock?
Oh, they had the whole, not just these people in the front. It was the whole place was just doing this crazy. It was just out of control.
And there's something underneath there too, isn't it?
Well, there's storage because where I showed you that part, it drops down and they can bring chairs up for different stuff.
Yeah.
But you could feel the floor was just moving. It was who else? Who sings Alien Ant Farm was there. I'm trying to rack my brain.
Basically, anybody you can think of.
Well, not anybody, but like I'm sure once after this, I'll be like, oh, I should have named these other 5 bands or people that I saw that I got to see and hang out with. But I mean, it was so long ago at this point. I've got all that memory.
But you hit it at the peak, basically.
Yeah, because it first opened and there was nothing like it in Orlando. There were other hard rocks that, like, I think Las Vegas had a concert section attached to it, but it was the first one in Orlando. So when it first opened, it was huge. I think Elton John was one of the first acts we had to open Hard Rock Live in Orlando.
Dang. Because now I don't think there will ever be something. Well, there might be something
nowadays.
like it, but nothing to.
Yeah, they'll
point.
have different bands here and there, but like you said, it's, I don't know. Well, just music in general is so different now.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
It's a lot of gay guys, which is nothing wrong with it, but like softer stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's, like I said, it was
Nobody's
mid to late
rocking.
90s, early 2000s. I mean, you can't hold a candle to that music, right? I mean, it was just.
You see Stained?
I saw Stained at House of Blues. I didn't work it, but I went and saw Stained at House of Blues. I also saw.
I think he's just getting better.
I think I showed you the picture. So I did take nights off because I was dude, I want to see this and work the back end. So I had this collage of, it was Cinderella, Poison, and Stone Temple Pilots. And you remember that? Do you remember that picture? Not all in one night.
Oh,
don't get me wrong. That would have been crazy. But I remember specifically the thing about the Poison concert was because Dan, the photographer for our wedding, is the photographer for Hard Rock. So I became very good friends with him still.
Jeez.
And he would give me a ton of pictures from the concert pictures he shot. And I was front row to Poison, and I may have had a cocktail or two.
100%.
And the stage is like about to here on your height, right? And I was just banging on the stage, and Bobby Dahl walked by, and I punched him in the foot. And I got a pic from CC that same night. But and I pointed this out to you on that collage I had on the wall at our old house. CC's doing this into the camera, and remember, you look at his jeans.
I don't really remember.
You don't remember that? He pissed himself because they stayed on stage and played longer.
Oh.
And you can see a big wet stain in his jeans because he pissed himself. And then there was a time when, again, so Lance worked at Hard Rock, but then he went to House of Blues. Which had the same.
What? Which is.
House of Blues is the same premise as a Hard Rock, just supposed to be blues music, but wound up being all kinds of stuff also. Same thing. Half of it was a restaurant, half of it was a concert hall. So went and saw Stain there, saw Sebastian Bach one night. And I was with Ben and may have had a beverage or two, was front row. And back then, I had a habit of when I got drunk.
Is it all GA? Like you just stand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taking my shirt off and losing it in the rafters. And I jumped up at one point and slapped Sebastian high five.
Nice.
It was good. Good times.
Then,
but then got sick on the car ride on the way home.
Yeah,
just be careful. Here's a note. Man. Here's a tip for all you guys. You know, hey, sit in the front seat instead of the back seat in case you get sick. Make sure the window's up because I got leaned out the front window to get sick, and Ben had the back window open, and it blew right back real quick. He was dating this girl. Her name was Michelle, but she kind of had that Ace Ventura walk, so we called her Mikey.
Oh my gosh.
So she was driving. They put me in the front seat because I was out of control because my buddy Lance was working there, and he...
Oh.
Right? So Ben was in the back, and we're driving home. And this is when I had the long hair, right? So I'd always carry some kind of band with me to pull my hair back. And I lost it that night at some point. So my hair's... And we're driving down I-4, and I lean out the window, and I'm like... Ugh. I'm like, pull over, I'm going to get sick. And again, it's... blowing back on Ben, and she's driving. She's like, I don't know what to do. And Ben's in the backseat going, pull the fuck over. So we get home, back to our apartment, and Ben gets out and just hauls ass upstairs to the shower.
Like it actually got, not like a few sprinkles.
It blew back in on him.
Oh.
right? And I get out, and poor little, she was a little girl, Mikey, is trying to hold me up and get me upstairs to the apartment, right? And I get out and I look at the car, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, I'll wash your car tomorrow. And this poor girl's trying to walk me up a whole flight of stairs, and Ben finally opens the door out of the shower in his boxers and comes up and helps me. Yeah, that's another thing we should do, is talk about some old Ben stories and roommate stories. That was some good times. A lot of good parties at the old apartment.
There's like I want to talk more about the Rock the Country with Duval, Pablo, and Connor.
Oh, that you went to?
Yeah, but I don't know if I can just yet.
Why is that?
Well, Pablo still has. He's got a few years of college left.
Yeah, I read you.
But
well, you don't have to use his name.
True. Okay.
We can call him Peter.
Real quick, tell him, and then we can go back.
Yeah, we got. Can we pause? Because I gotta pee.
Yeah,
is that possible to pause the video?
I can just edit it. The pictures. You have two pictures with Seven Dust. Seven
LeJean from Seven Dust. They got a picture of me and a girl I worked with at Hard Rock. And what's the other one? Ralphie?
Yeah, Ralphie.
Ralphie was awesome. So they did this contest.
From A Christmas Story.
Peter Billingsley. The local radio station, WJR, did a contest where they picked a couple winners, and they blew up the picture of Ralphie in his cowboy outfit in the movie, and they hung it up at Hard Rock, and they gave the people an actual BB gun, and whoever shot closest to his eye got to meet him and got an autographed Red Ryder BB gun.
Sorry.
Edit that.
Sorry.
So, no problem. They were in there, and they didn't really book security for him because they're like, nobody knows. He had so many chicks going crazy for him that they called me and another guy over for security for him. So he loves Tom Collins drinks. I don't know what's in them exactly. So we were hooking him up with those, and he did his whole thing. And at one point we went out back for him to take a break, and we were talking to him, and he said he still has the pink bunny outfit in his attic, and he signed an autograph picture for me. Thanks, John, for the help. And I'm a big fan of the movie anyway, so I have that.
The leg lamps in the back of a few.
2 leg lamps, the full-size one, a mini one. I have the pink bunny outfit. I've got a Red Ryder BB gun. Yeah, that was... Why did I not think of that when I was thinking about... Because I was thinking music. That's probably why.
Yeah.
As far as that. But yeah, that was great. He was really, really cool. And LeJean was very cool. He's from Orlando. Back
People
up.
say he's cool.
Another thing is, at one point, Mom's not going to like this, but she knows about it.
For sure.
They have Medieval Times in Orlando, which is a dinner show, which if you've seen The Cable Guy, you know what Medieval Times is.
I'm trying to get Carl and Pablo to go with me.
So they also at one point had American Gladiators dinner show where they do the American Gladiator stuff while you ate dinner. Well, I worked part-time at another restaurant, Roadhouse, and wound up dating one of the girls who was a gladiator there.
You keep moving this thing farther and farther,
Sorry.
by the way.
Sorry. Wound up dating her, and whenever the wrestlers were in town, they would come see her because she was pretty buff. I mean, it was embarrassing. At one point, I actually had to take weight off after she'd gone. Like, that was probably one of the best times I was in the best shape.
You said you were eating raw eggs.
I was eating raw eggs, hard-boiled eggs, cans of tuna, straight out of the can, like trying to keep up. It's a lifestyle. But where she worked, where we worked, they would all come see her. So I met Raven, if you know who that was, from Raven's Flock. Remind me to go back to Jericho and your mom.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. A tag team called High Voltage came in.
High Voltage, this is what I call Rat Granny.
Okay, so here's what's funny is if you've ever watched wrestling, you know who Bill Goldberg. He was just getting going, right? So they were in town and they all come see her because she's a big buff chick, or they'd go see the show with all the other gladiators. So they'd always come to the restaurant after. The hostess sat the tag team High Voltage, Bill Goldberg, and somebody else. And she tried to squeeze them in this booth. So you got these big jack guys squeezed in a booth. And I'm over at the side station, and I hear this voice behind me go, "Hey, is it possible to get a table? Because you table four table, you got more room."
Sure.
And I turned around and literally went, "Holy shit!" And Bill Goldberg looks at me and goes, "Fan, huh?" I go, "Yeah." So got to meet a lot of the wrestlers. Worked out with Steve Blackman, couple other, a lot of local. Chris Jericho did live in Orlando for a while. So the thing about Chris Jericho, I'm going to back up and talk about, is he has a band called Fozzy, where he does like 80s rock stuff. And
Mark
again,
Wahlberg ever come?
No, never met a Wahlberg.
Oh, okay.
No. So his band was playing at Hard Rock Live, and they're playing, and me and the wife are hanging out. And at one point, he's like, "Hey, everybody come up on stage." And it wasn't like fully packed, but it was a couple hundred people there to see him. Because you say Fozzy, people didn't know like they know now from him, because he was not as big back then. And all these people are jumping on stage, and they're like, "All right," then security guys are like, "All right, that's enough people on stage." And of course, because I work there, I went over to the guy I know, I'm like, "Hey, let my wife on stage." Because she was all like, "Oh, he's so cute, he's so hot, his long hair, blah, 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 blah." And your mom got on stage, and she was so starstruck because she'd never really met people before. And he turned around, and she, like, as she says, grabbed his sweaty bicep and locked up. Because everybody, when they say get off stage, they were all stage diving off the stage back into the crowd. And she looked at Chris Jericho and goes, "You're not going to make me jump, are you?" And he goes, "Do whatever you need to do." And she just kind of like walked off the side of the stage back into the crowd and came up to me and was just hanging her head like, I so locked up. Because she was all talking. She's like, "I'd get up there and I'd do this and I'd do that." So I'm like, "All right, come on." So I went over and like let her on stage. She went up there and just starstruck, locked up. It's hilarious. So
Yeah,
it's funny whenever we, flipping through the channels and see him like, "Hey, your sweaty bicep guy's on TV that you touched." And
so
she
what
just
was
started
the
shaking
band?
her
Did
head.
he do anything, or was it just because you?
It's just a side thing he does because he likes.
Still?
Yeah, he still does it.
Oh.
It's still called. Look it up. It's called Fozzy.
Well, the mobile device is right there.
Yeah, but yeah.
Oh, 12 minutes was when I put a picture of you in.
Okay.
That's what it was.
So again, the more I sit here, the more I drink, the more stories will come back. Like it was. Again, people are like, "You're a firefighter. You save people's lives. You're law enforcement." It's not. Best job I ever had.
Was Hard
Rock.
Hard Rock?
Those 8 years. I mean, that's where I met your mom. Was at Hard Rock. I mean, yeah.
And
was
what
great.
was that again? So one of her friends flaked on her, so you invited yourself, or she just had an extra
So I was working at merchandise at the old guitar building, as they would call it, and
ticket? Dude, if you keep talking, you might have the record for the longest pod, by the way. Which
I
is
don't
fine.
want. I don't want to do that. I don't want people to stay engaged and not go, "This is too long."
Well, it doesn't matter.
So I opened the door for her and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" She's like, "Oh, hello." With a North Dakota dragging the O's accent, like in the movie Fargo. And I started talking to her, and hot. And she's like, "Oh, I'm in town visiting my friend, but she's working, and we were gonna go to Disney tomorrow, but she's got to work, and I got an extra ticket." I'm like, "Well, I'll go." Like basically invited myself.
Joking, or you're like, wow.
No,
she's
like I
really
was off the
hot.
next day, and I'm like, "She's good looking. She got an extra ticket." I'm like, "Oh, if you're not doing anything, I'll go with you."
And you're local.
Yeah, local schmokel. And, yep, and she was like, "Yeah," and I was like, I don't know, she's walking away, so I ran down the guitar neck that went to the parking lot, and I chased her down. I'm like, "Are you serious? Like, you really gonna be there and with a ticket, and I'll meet you there?" She's like, "Yeah, sure," and I'm like, I don't know, she's not gonna, whatever.
So you just
the
had
next
to
day I
hope
was,
for it?
huh?
You just had to hope for it?
Yeah, so I drove out to Disney the next day and and this, that, and I walk up
How'd
and
you even find that? How'd you find her in there?
I walked up before you go into the entrance. There's a couple benches, and she was sitting right there on the bench waiting for me. And we went in and had a great time. She told me her name, which is at the time her main name, Shyla Shock. Didn't believe her. Made her show me her ID. Hung out all day. Had a great time. We went on Haunted Mansion. And where you turn and you see the reflection of you, but it's Ghost, is where Rico Suave leaned over and
Nice.
planted one on her. So we hung out for a couple days.
You kissed her as a ghost?
Well, in the reflection, yeah, it's a ghost. And she was leaving, and I drove out to where she was staying at a hotel again to say goodbye to her. And I'm like, went out to a hammock, and we went back years later and took a picture of the same hammock. I'm like, I'm going to marry you one day. She's like, you don't even know me.
That was the first day you met her.
That first weekend that I met her. And then she went back home, and we stayed letters and phone calls. Pretty good for about a year. Drifted apart. Stopped writing letters, stopped calling. She was living with a dude. I was living with a girl. And I got a pretty bad car accident. I was laid up on the couch. And she wrote me a letter out of the blue. Because I remember I told Ben about her when he moved in. And she wrote me a letter or something. And he's like, hey, this is from that Fargo Shyla girl. And I called her with her number in the letter. She's like, I'm going to come down and visit you. And I'm like...
Did you know if you were crashed?
No. It was just instant.
It just happened.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was Christmas time. And I'm like, okay. And I remember before she came, I was telling Ben about her. And we were watching the movie Fargo. And I'm like, that's what she sounds like. He's like, bullshit. I'm like, no, she's from North Dakota. That's what she sounds like. He made me get up and call her on the phone so he could talk to her to hear what she sounded like. And I'm like, yeah, that's what she sounds like. So she came down, I'm like, I've got 10 days to show you how great Orlando is. And she's like, I'm born and raised up there. My family, friends are all there. I'm not moving down here. And I remember sitting on the couch. It was 52 degrees in Orlando. And with the wind chill up here, it was negative 52. And I'm like, there's no fucking way I would ever live up there. And that was Christmas. And I went up to visit her in February for like Valentine's Day. First time I'd ever seen snow. Did the whole snow angel. Wrote my name in the snow while I was peeing.
Snowman? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Snowman with the carrot and balls?
No, I didn't do a snowman. She took me, clubs, friends, this and that. That was February. Her birthday was in April. She packed up everything she owned, moved down to Florida, and moved right in with me. And then year and a half, we got engaged. Year and a half later, we got married. Year later, we had you.
No. 3 years later. That was way off.
Yes, we got married in 2002, 3 years later. Yes, you're right. Sorry. I got a D in math. Florida school system. Sorry.
You're good.
Yeah, so that's how I met your mom. Yeah.
I've heard the story multiple times, but it's always good.
Good for the people.
Yeah, of course.
And the wedding, which you weren't at, obviously. Great 3-day party.
Whose idea was it to film that?
We did very low budget and family friendly help. Barefoot, not naked.
No.
Barefoot on the beach. Asked cousin Larissa to film for us. And hired a DJ, hired a catering company. First night, everybody came in. We prepped, partied, had a bonfire on the beach. Next day, hung out, partied again. Had the wedding that afternoon and partied all night. And then the third day, still people hung out and partied before they had to leave. It was...
So how'd you get all this alcohol and food?
We went and bought... Mom and I bought 10 boxes of wine. Grandpa Frank... I don't know if you ever remember meeting him. Mm-mm. Bought a bunch of beer, which was nice, but he didn't know our friends, so we had to go get more. We almost paid for everything ourselves.
You said you pulled a lot of strings. Well, yeah, family help. Family friends.
Yep. So she worked at a country club, and the person who did the cakes at the country clubs did our wedding cakes for us. They did a sandcastle wedding cake, and then also did a groom's cake, which was a fire helmet. Our friend Dan from Hard Rock came out and did the pictures for us. DJ came in and did the music for us. We should introduce these guys real quick before we sign off.
What's your deal?
Nothing. I want to play some Londite.
Oh, you look like you had a deal.
No deal.
Dude, please.
Come over here in the frame and let's see that shirt.
Get over here.
Oh, no, I'll get a better one for this.
Well, or you can take it off.
Well, we're already...
the best.
Yeah.
We're already knee-deep in the podcast. Just come say hi.
Knee-deep in this thing.
What are we talking about?
Life, Hard Rock, how I met his mom, firefighting.
How he was conceived?
Not the position.
No, okay.
But I will say this for the camera. It was my birthday bang on October 14th, and he came on his actual due date.
Mine Soon to
Well,
be.
come on.
Dude, come on.
Come on.
I thought we're doing it tomorrow.
You can do another one
Just
tomorrow.
do a
Just
little
come
bit.
pop in on mine, and then you can have your
We
own.
can do it tomorrow too, but just tell us how you were conceived.
Oh, I don't know about how I was conceived, but my daughter was conceived on my birthday. She trapped me.
She trapped you. Threw the
For
legs
sure.
around you.
On my birthday, Deadwood. Yeah.
It happens.
That's a dog?
It's a dog?
Dodger.
Dodger.
Dodge.
Not a dog.
Hot dog.
Yeah, dude.
And the name is going to be
Marky.
Marky.
Oh, dude, that's sick.
Markie.
M-A-R.
Dude, we got to bring everybody in.
Bismarcky.
This is Marquis, yes.
Come on over, Russ. Come say.
Oh, baby, you
Come say. This
got
is
what I need.
this is Dylan's podcast room.
Oh.
I need one every
We need a
week.
place a little quiet, so we crashed your bar.
Which is
So
fantastic.
say hi to Russ.
Thank you very much.
Where have you been?
I was
pontoon.
I was over break for a while.
Just so everyone knows, we're at Brush Lake in Mercer, North Dakota for 4th of
I've
July.
never come here. It's horrible.
It's no one knows about it.
It's a shit show.
Brennan, can I get you tomorrow if it works?
Yeah,
Perfect.
absolutely.
All right,
Sweet,
but
let's
you need
go.
to hurry this up. We gotta play.
Yep, we're gonna sign off and go
Okay.
play some. What is it? Die up,
Lawn die.
lawn die, die
Lawn
up,
die.
whatever. Well, thanks for having me.
Thanks, Pops.
Any other time, love you, proud of you. Get
Thanks,
those
brother.
views. You're my 401k plan.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I finally know what that is, too. So.
Love you, bud.
Jokes make sense.